Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Pink Sky Tarot. I'm Elle. Special hello to my subscribers. Thank you so much for being here. And if you're new here, please come join us. Also be sure to check me out on Instagram as I do daily guidance posts over there that you won't see here. And if you're interested in booking a personal reading with me, just send an email to pinkskytarot@gmail.com and I will send you the information. My Instagram handle and email are down in the description box for you. Okay guys, yesterday I did a Mercury Retrograde video for the General Collective, and I mentioned that I was going to do a Mercury Retrograde specific to twin flames today. So that's what I'm doing now. Mercury is in retrograde from today, September 27th through October 18th, and I'm just going to see how it's going to be affecting twin flames. This is a general reading, so it's not going to resonate for everyone. Just take what fits and leave the rest. I am also thinking about doing a live this evening around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll probably post that on my Instagram and do a reminder post here on YouTube as well. I haven't done a live before, so I think it'll be really fun to answer your guys' questions and stuff like that. Okay? All right, so let's find out how this Mercury retrograde is going to be affecting twin flames specifically. I'm going to be doing like between the connection and then also kind of break things down for the divine feminine and divine masculine. All right, so what energy is coming in for twin flame connections right now? What energy is coming in for twin flame connections right now? Also, if you didn't watch yesterday's video, we talked a lot about soul family and how that's important for the Mercury retrograde, and it really reminded me of twin flames a lot, so I would definitely go check that out. Duality, which is perfect for twins. You're basically the same soul in two separate bodies, so there's duality makes a lot of sense, right? Duality, self-awareness, observe, release. And what I'm feeling is that the majority of the time, the divine feminines are very aware of the connection. They go all into the spiritual aspects of it way before the divine masculines. So with this duality, and it's saying self-awareness, I feel like a lot of the masculines are going to be catching up to the self-awareness. With this duality, I'm also feeling a lot of mirroring. So feminines, if you are really putting your energy and focus into progressing your spiritual journey, the masculines are going to feel that and they're going to start progressing their own spiritual journeys. I feel like there's going to be a lot of awakening on the masculine side, and the feminines are going to feel that energy, and it's going to push both of you to start working really hard on yourselves and your own spiritual journeys, independent of each other. All right. So energy is coming in for the masculine during this Mercury retrograde. What energy is coming in for the masculine during the Mercury retrograde? Yeah. It says echoes, ancient culture, roots, customs. That's kind of just what I was saying. So if you have a twin flame connection with somebody, then you're like spiritually bound to this person, and a lot of people believe that's through multiple lifetimes. You just feel that deep soul connection to them. You know this person at a soul and core level. And with this echoes, again, that's reminding me of mirroring, because if you go into a canyon and you shout something, it's shouted back at you. So that's kind of what I was saying. So feminines, if you're shouting something, the masculines are going to shout it back at you. If you're doing something, they're going to reflect it back to you. So that's what's coming in for the masculines. They're really echoing the connection back to the feminine. They're getting in touch with like the roots of this connection, really trying to understand what it means and how to kind of like take control or harness the energy or figure out their spiritual path. This is a very spiritual looking card, you know. I'm drawn to the parrot. Parrots talk a lot. They also repeat. So, you know, if you say something to a parrot, they repeat it back. So this message of mirroring and the mirroring, pushing each other forward, is coming in very strong right now. All right, so what energy is coming in with the feminines during this retrograde? See? Kinship, Teamwork, connection, sharing, supporting. Wow. This is a very strong message. There's teamwork here between the twins. Okay, the feminine is working with the masculine is working with the feminine. This is at the 5D level for the majority of you, if you've been in separation for a long time. Even if you're not in separation, this is starting to learn how to work together in the 3D. How to build a connection with each other. How to understand how to understand how to live with someone who reflects your own soul, or to work with them every day, because it can be very triggering and very difficult. But it's like this message of the twins being fully aware of the connection and that they're the same soul in two bodies, and then the echoing and the teamwork with this kinship. It's like there's a lot of reflecting back and forth here, a lot of intensifying of the mirroring, the telepathy, the 5D. It's like really coming together, and they're both starting to work together in a very powerful way, is really what it's feeling like. Okay, let's move into some tarot here. All right, so how will this Mercury retrograde affect the connection? How will the Mercury retrograde affect the connection? I don't know why I have such a hard time saying Mercury retrograde, but here we go. All right. So we have the 9 of Wands. We have the 8 of Coins in reverse. And we have the Knight of Swords. How's it going to affect the connection? Well, normally with this 8 of Coins, when I see it in the reverse, it feels like somebody's not doing work. Somebody's paused. Somebody is ignoring something. But what I'm feeling very strongly this time is inner work. Inner work. This Mercury retrograde is going to spark and fuel inner work between the twins, like between their connection in the 5D and in the spiritual level, but also within themselves. Okay, so we have this 9 of Wands here, and I feel like this is both twins persevering through difficult challenges and situations that they know need to be resolved in order for them to come into union. So feminine, if you are in a living situation that is unhealthy for you and you know it, then you're going to be fueled to move out of that living situation. Masculines, if you are in a karmic relationship and you know that you need to end it if you want to come into union with your divine feminine, this is going to push you to end the karmic relationship. Okay, those are just 2 examples. It's going to be different for everyone because, like I stated at the beginning, this is a general reading. So it's just whatever individual issue each twin has, this Mercury retrograde is going to push them to persevere through this difficult moment and bring it to completion so that they can move forward in their spiritual journey and then eventually get to union. And then again with this, there's a lot of inner work. With this Knight of Swords, I'm noticing the wings on her. She has these wings up here. I don't know if these are wings or just tail feathers, but for me, it's reminding me of like 5D communication. I think the twins are allowing each of their own spirit guides, universe, synchronicities, things to speak to them and guide them. The spirit feels like spiritual communication, and it's like whatever signs the universe has been trying to give to them, whatever urgings the universe has been pushing on them, it's becoming clear. Because the swords are a lot about clarity and in the mind. So it's like, I've been seeing this, let's say like a white bird. I keep seeing white birds everywhere. What does that mean? Suddenly it's going to dawn on you what that means. Or I keep seeing this set of numbers everywhere I go. What does that mean? Suddenly it's going to dawn on you what those numbers mean. So it's like the messages that the universe has been trying to send to you are going to become very clear, and it's suddenly just going to resonate with you in a way that it hasn't before. And that's with each of the twins, okay? All right, let's find out. It it feels very powerful. Like I'm feeling, it doesn't feel like an intense energy, but it's just like a light bulb moment, and it just kind of wakes them both up to kind of work on their individual paths here. All right, so what should the masculine be focusing on right now? What should the masculine be focusing on right now? Remember, with all this mirroring that was brought up in these three cards, whatever inner work one is doing, it's reflected back on the other. When this person gets, when one of the twins gets clarity, then the other one is getting clarity. Whenever one of them is pushing through to finish something, the other one is going to do it as well. There's a lot of mirroring and reflecting and echoing and like just, yeah, in a productive way. All right, so what does the masculine need to focus on right now? What does the masculine need to focus on right now? Yeah, one more for the masculine, please. What he needs to focus on. There we go. Already getting a message here with just that one card. All right, so we have 2 of Cups in the reverse. We have 5 of Cups in the reverse. And then we have the 4 of Coins. What does he need to focus on? Things in his life that are not serving him. Things that he's been holding on to, that he's known for a long time, he needs to let go of. He might have been pretending like this relationship is fine and it's working out when it's not. So he's been holding on to it because it's safe, it's comfortable, it's easy, he doesn't have to do anything. So it's like time to let that go. That's what he needs to be focusing on. He needs to focus on the things he's been holding on to that do not serve a good, positive purpose in his life. I feel like once he starts to acknowledge that these things are not serving him in a positive way and he needs to let them go, he's going to start to heal a lot of his sadness. He's going to come out of depression if some of them are depressed. He's going to start feeling a light within him come on. Okay, so that's what he needs to focus on. Letting go of the things he's been holding on to and healing the sadness and negative energy that was surrounding him from those, whatever those situations were that he was holding on to. All right, let's find out what the feminine needs to focus on. All right, what does the feminine need to focus on for union? What does the feminine need to focus on? Not for union, but during the retrograde. So I'm going to put this one back because I didn't like the way I asked that question. It was 10 of Swords in reverse, so it's probably releasing pain or healing negative energies. But what does the feminine need to focus on during the retrograde? What does the feminine need to focus on during the retrograde? Alright, so we have the Fool, 7 of Swords in reverse, and the High Priestess. So right away with this Fool, I heard she needs to have more faith in herself and be more trusting of herself and her abilities and like her intuition and following what her spirit is telling her to do. The Fool does not put a lot of thought into things. He's standing here on this cliff and he just jumps off, right? He says, my soul is telling me to jump off this cliff, and he does it. Now, he's not going to do it without being guided by spirit, so he knows that he has a safe place to land, but at the same time, he doesn't overthink. He just listens to his heart, and he does what he's supposed to do. He takes that leap of faith, he puts trust into his intuition, and believes that it's going to work out for the best. With the 7 of Swords, I feel like this has a lot to do with self-worth, self-confidence, not hiding yourself away from the world, putting yourself out there in the world in some way. If you have skills and abilities that you know you have, but maybe you're self-conscious because you've never really put the effort into using them. Spirit's saying it's time to do that. Okay, this card can be about imposter syndrome when it's in the upright. So with it being in the reverse, I feel like that's what it's talking about. You're good enough. You are capable. You have the skills and abilities to do whatever it is you want to do. So put yourself out there. Get yourself out in the world. And then here we have the High Priestess. And I feel like, again, this is the feminine being told to trust without knowing. Okay, the High Priestess has secrets. She doesn't reveal everything to you. She's very intuitive. She follows her spirit. She follows what the universe urges her to do. And she doesn't know everything. Well, she knows everything, but she doesn't reveal it, okay? So not everything is going to be revealed to you, Divine Feminines. You have to act on faith. You have to put your faith out there. You have to learn how to trust your spirit and your soul and what the universe is telling you to do, and just have faith that it's going to work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out the way you want it to, but that's part of the plan. And trying thing A that doesn't work out how you wanted it to can lead you to thing B, which might be what Spirit wanted you to do all along. It's just learning to follow your path without knowing and just trusting, okay? All right. What should the masculine look out for during this retrograde? What should the masculine look out for during this retrograde? And what I'm hearing is, if you watched yesterday's video, a lot about your soul family helping you out. So both the masculine and feminines have some big things they need to work on. So even though this is within the twin flame connection, the general collective reading I did yesterday, I feel is going to be very pertinent for them. So if you didn't watch it, I would go back and take a peek at it, because it's all about allowing your soul family to come in and help you. Okay, so what should the masculine look out for? Okay, here we go. What should the masculine look out for during this retrograde? Pretty clear message that's coming out for me. So, Ten of Cups. Why would the masculine need to look out for Ten of Cups? Well, the masculine cannot get too wrapped up in his emotions and his feelings, and that it prevents him from following through on transitions and new beginnings. Okay, so both these cards are in the reverse. The masculine needs to go through a death and rebirth of his ego. He needs to shed his old skin, and he needs to wake up a new person, a new spirit, or not new, but allow what's inside him to come out. And he needs to do so in an intentional, very intense, meaningful way, which is what I'm getting with this card. So if the masculine is too wrapped up in his emotions and how he's feeling about everything around him and how he thinks these decisions are going to affect him, he is going to be putting a block up on these transitions and this new beginning. Okay, so masculine, I feel like at first he's going to be letting all these feelings in, and what's being reflected to him from the feminine is going to feel very good to him, and it's going to make him feel all warm and mushy and gooey, but he can't sit in that energy forever. He's going to have to kind of snap out of it a bit so he can go through this death and rebirth and then get on a path to a new beginning that's meaningful. All right, and what should the feminine look out for during this Mercury retrograde? What should the feminine look out for during this Mercury retrograde? So we have Ten of Swords coming out. It tried to show itself earlier. Then we have the Hangman in the reverse, and she is also getting the Death card, but it's in the upright. So what does the feminine need to look out for? It's very similar energy, actually. She needs to make sure she doesn't get caught in her emotional trauma, her emotional pain, and that she's making sure she's not ignoring the spiritual lessons. She needs to let that in. She needs to heal herself and close out these old cycles, because she is going to transition as well. I feel like this is going to be easier for the feminine than it is for the masculine. That's why his card is in the reverse and hers is in the upright. It's going to take more energy for him to go through this than it will for her. Because I think when she starts recognizing that she needs to put herself out in the world and she needs to make some big changes in her life, these pains and these traumas are going to kind of almost naturally release themselves, and she will be able to take in the spiritual lessons and come out of this kind of stuck hangman energy. Yeah, I just feel like once she starts to let that happen, it will happen very quickly. But if she's resistant to any of that at all, then it's going to prevent her from going through the transitions. But like I said, I think it's going to be easier for her than it is for him, which probably has divine purpose, right? Because if the feminine is going through her death and rebirth, it's going to push them. She's going to reflect it and echo it back to him with that duality, and he's going to start to go through his. So hers is like, don't get caught up in the pain, and his is don't get caught up in the emotions. Okay? All right. So let's get some final guidance here for the twins during their Mercury retrograde. All right. So let's get some guidance for the connection for both twins together. What is some guidance for the connection in both twins together? Of course, they're getting 2 cards. Okay, so we have the emu and the weasel. The emu says, this is a good time to go on a new adventure. And the weasel says, be silent, pay attention, and simply observe with your eyes, ears, and physical feelings what is happening inside and all around you. I feel like the new adventure is the spiritual journey. This is the time to wake up and get moving, right? This retrograde can help push you, and with this, perseverance I was talking about earlier, it can be the energy you need to get pushed through something difficult. And then the weasel saying, pay attention, look around, be observant, notice what's going on around you, take that in and utilize it in a very constructive and positive way. Okay, so can we get some guidance for the masculine, please? All right. He has the boar, and it says, face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious, which is basically what I was saying here, when he needs to cut out things that are no longer serving him, things that are no longer bringing him positive energy. Face those problems head on, and you're going to be victorious. Again, with the perseverance, pushing through something difficult so that you can emerge on the other side in victory. All right, and can we get some guidance for the feminine, please? I can just see the masculines walking confidently with their heads up, saying, I am taking care of this. I'm just going to do it and get it over with. Can we get some guidance? There we go, for the feminine. All right. We have the grouse. And it says, express yourself through rhythm and movement by drumming and dancing. I think this is to remind the feminine to have fun. Okay, because she does have some heavy things. She has some pain that she has to deal with. She also has to learn how to trust herself and take a leap of faith without knowing what's going to happen. And that is very intense. Okay, so I think this is just a reminder to the feminine, don't get too heavy. Make sure you're taking time for yourself to have some light and have some fun and find some joy. You still need to focus on these things and take care of them so you can go through your transition, but don't get so caught up in this Ten of Swords energy or the heaviness of having to make decisions without knowing the results that you get stuck and can't move forward. So make sure you're having some fun and giving yourself, taking some time for yourself to find some light. Okay? All right, I'm going to leave the reading here, you guys. Thanks for watching. If it resonated, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.